You're about to hear a favorite from the Faith Middleton Food Schmooze archive. This show originally aired in 2019.
It's great to have you joining our party on the Faith Middleton Food Schmooze. Eat, drink, and be merry with us. Our show's at the Big G in downtown New Haven, 5 culinary kitchens at Gateway Community College. We're all in on a burger bash this time.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Here we go.
Who is this? My treasured food buddies are here. Chris Prosperi, Alex Province, Mark Raymond, senior producer Robin Doyen Aiken, and Josh Welch, who has a farm in Connecticut, raises cattle, and we just ate the beef from his cows.
So yummy.
Unbelievable. We had the best time. What is it, people? We've got all your Facebook recommendations on great burger places, and we want more from you. I'll give you the address in just a second. Faith Middleton on Facebook. Okay, everybody.
Yeah.
What is it about this? What's the burger thing?
I mean, you think about it. You could actually have a different burger every day for 30 days. Or maybe more.
You mean at a different place?
At a different place, at a different topping, different
lunch and
style.
dinner, just
everywhere
lunch.
you go in
Beef or
America,
not beef,
everywhere
right?
you go in the United States of America, you can have a different kind of burger.
Everyone can cook a burger, too. No matter how bad of a cook you are, you
so
can grill a
easy.
burger.
You know what? We're going to give you a trick. If you have a thing where you don't want to have too much fat in your, let's say it's beef or something else, we're going to give you my favorite trick to flavor it with butter. Later on, we'll tell you how to do that, okay? We've got wine to go with the beef. But what do you all say about this?
A burger has you don't need a knife and fork. It's all squishy. It's like the bun it's all scientifically designed to be perfect.
It's just part of the culture.
Josh
It's part
Welch,
of our
I didn't
culture.
even say welcome to the
That's
Food
okay,
Schmooze
thank you.
party. Do you ever have too many burgers?
You can't have too many burgers. Is there a more democratic food than the burger?
I don't think
Not
so.
in this
I
country.
don't think so.
It's American.
Yes, pizza.
Wow.
Yes,
I don't
pizza
know.
is
pretty
universally
divisive.
loved.
Yes.
Don't you think, Robin? I mean,
It's universally loved.
Yeah.
It
And
is.
so
It
is
is.
the burger. Universally
So is
loved.
the burger, though.
True.
And by burger, we mean whatever kind. You know, it's up to you.
Black bean doesn't matter, right? Buffalo chicken burger can be, right?
Oh,
I mean, it's,
What is
it's
that exactly?
like Mark said, it is endless.
Chimichurri burger.
Chimichurri burger.
How about just a cheeseburger?
Cheeseburger's good too.
Classic.
So, hey, I'm gonna keep
Oh, those are good.
seeding throughout the show things that you have said to us at Faith Middleton on our Facebook page. And if you've got more, keep them coming, and we're going to be talking with you. So I'll say the town, in Waterbury, we have Jeanette Millette recommending Brassworks Brewery. And you know, it's not far from her house. She absolutely
Yeah.
loves that. So do you find, as I do, that my burger tastes have gone in phases? I like my burgers a certain way for periods of time in my life. Chris,
Oh,
you
yeah, totally. Like right now, or actually, I'm just at the end of it. I walked into a burger joint and they had a fried egg on a burger. That was my burger. And I don't know why. It didn't matter. And if they didn't, I would ask if they could do it.
Right.
I'm sort of weaning myself off that now, and I'm going back to like having bacon on my burger.
It's just like an artistic period, like
Yes,
Picasso's
yeah.
blue period, and now
I was in
Chris
the
is
egg
moving in
burger
out of the
period.
egg.
There was a time where all I could have on a burger was Swiss cheese and mushrooms.
See?
That's all I wanted to
Oh,
have.
Swiss and
now I
mushrooms,
can't get enough
great.
bacon. I got to have bacon.
So I went through the period where I had to have a burger on a buttered, toasted English muffin.
Wow.
Totally
Very
good
important. And then I went through this period where I did the Shady Glen thing in
Oh.
Manchester, which is where the cheese is crispy
curled up.
in there
Yeah,
and all
4
curled up. And
slices, yum.
then when I was in school nearby Colchester, Connecticut, I would drive to Harry's, still operating, and have the
yes.
burgers there. That grill has to be seasoned beyond belief. And
yeah.
is that what makes a burger really great? Then I was into burgers as long as it had tomato, bacon, and mayonnaise. I don't know why. You know, cheese is
Yeah.
without question. I have
Right.
to have cheddar cheese on my burger. Now, at this stage in my life, all I want to do is have a burger that makes me lift up my head and say, wow. I go to a place called Salamanders. In a little while, you're going to hear us talk to someone in Florida where I had a burger that absolutely blew me off my stool.
What makes it so fancy?
Well, it's a Michael Jordan restaurant. Let me just stop there. Okay, so Chris, you said an egg on top of your burger, and that is a thing with people, right, Josh?
That's a big thing. Burgers are a wonderful vehicle for transporting flavor and texture.
Right, because Josh, you have a restaurant in Westerly, Rhode Island, which is right next to Stonington, Connecticut. And at that restaurant, you serve the beef that you raise, maybe some other beef sometimes, but basically it's your stuff. And you see what your customers, us, what we're all saying that we want on our burgers. It can be anything. So Chris is saying this fried egg thing. Somewhere in my research, somebody said the most amazing burger on the planet, you put one egg yolk mixed into the beef, the way sometimes people do with a meatloaf.
Yeah.
I don't know
For richness?
Richness.
Does it need it?
So I'm asking you, Josh, because you have a farm, you have grass-fed cattle, and that's going to make for a chew in your burgers, and your flavor of your burgers is amazing. What would an egg yolk do?
I'm a little bit of a purist when it comes to burgers. 100% grass-fed beef has a very distinct flavor, and a lot of beef has a good mouthfeel, great texture, but is sort of like vanilla pudding without the vanilla, and is just a vehicle for transporting egg yolks and Spanish olives and
Sure.
crawdaddies and everything
And there's
else.
nothing...
Ketchup.
Don't forget the ketchup.
Mustard.
Ooh, I can't have a burger without ketchup.
I like it
have
too.
to have ketchup.
But how do you want your burger? Let's get into the sensualities. You want them kind of thin, a certain thickness. Do you want them very fat and juicy, not juicy? Because
them
they're,
all
it's
different
okay
ways.
if it's grass-fed.
No.
Do you want the juice running
Medium
down
or
your
medium rare?
arm? What do you want?
Keep going. There's different burgers for different days, like the drive-in burger, right?
Right.
That's not your fancy with egg on top and freshly ground there on
You
site.
mean what we quote-unquote call fast food, in other words?
No, not
I
fast
can.
food.
I could do a
Like-
dollar menu
like, yeah,
burger for
like-
sure.
like-
if I'm
like-
hungry.
Yeah.
Where I live, there's Gooseboro and Clamps. Those are not fancy burger places. They're not even inside. They're only open in the summer, and you drive in, pick
like
up
a
your
patty.
burger. Yeah.
Where's this?
One's in Litchfield and one's down further towards New Milford, and they're just on the side of the road in their little shacks.
Yeah.
And I swear, the Clamps one, the griddle has been the same griddle since like the 50s.
And what do you think that
adds
does? You're a
something.
chef,
The-
Chris.
The toasted bun in that hamburger is like none I've ever
But the
had.
bun has to be, do you want that bun to be really squishy?
Squishy.
Toasted
But
bun.
Faith, it's interesting because we're talking about burgers that are 1.8 ounces
Yeah.
to what's the limit?
Oh,
Yeah,
I saw one
16
online.
ounce.
No, I saw one
24
online
ounce,
that
a
was
pound.
like that you
People
could
are-
divide by like 10 people.
People are into stacking
Oh, yeah.
in certain places, like
Thinner
a double
and
burger, a
stacked.
triple
Yep.
burger, and that's not my thing, but I'm not
love
here
it.
to judge.
Yeah,
You get
I
more
need
like
that.
the crust.
Yeah, I
We
need
sell
that.
as many double burgers as we do singles.
See?
You
Oh,
do
yeah.
at
Got the
Graze?
Big Mac.
At Graze, we sell as many doubles as we do singles.
Thank you.
And at Bridge, where we have a 6 or an 8 ounce burger, we sell a lot of doubles there,
See?
which is 12 or
Stack 'em up.
16 ounces.
So what is it that
Stack 'em
people
up
are
is right.
after with that stacking? It's that they're not filled up enough by a single burger? What do you
The
think
flavor,
it
you
is?
get salt and pepper, and then the brown crust, you get that multiplied. So
Yeah,
each
and
patty
cheese, and if there's cheese in between each one,
Your bun to meat ratio is a little bit better if you go with the double.
See, no, I think Mark's hitting on something.
You know?
You can throw bread in the middle.
Proportions matter. If a bun is too fat, you can't taste all the other stuff that's on your burger. It could be the ketchup, the pickles, whatever.
Right. Ooh,
And
pickles.
the juice might not run down your arm. Whatever it is, you can't taste that char. You can chew. Now, if you've got two burgers, the proportions are all different. How many pickles do you need? How much ketchup? How much mustard? How much mayo do you need? How many slices of bacon?
variety is the spice of
I think
life,
so.
and that's where it is with burgers. One day a double burger,
Yeah.
the next day a drive-in burger, the next day a pork burger.
I think
Josh
you're right
Welch.
about the bun and the bun meat ratio. So this is our at Graze, we're on our third version of the bun. We started off
I
with
have your burger right here. Go ahead. I'm just going to take a bite. Go ahead. Okay. So
So
it's
we-
got the cheese and the bun. I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
Excuse
yeah.
me.
We're supposed to
Go
talk
ahead.
while we watch.
Yeah, no, go ahead.
All right.
You,
No,
you
'cause
didn't bring
we
a
all
spare
had
for
it.
We're
us.
salivating just
Don't
watching.
make me sound mean.
We didn't get the extra one.
Please go ahead, Josh.
so we started with a Martin's potato roll,
Okay.
and then we went to an egg brioche,
Ooh, there's nothing wrong with that.
and now we're at a potato roll with an egg wash.
Soft and
Which it is a
squishy.
brioche. It has an egg finish, but it has potato flour in it. It's smaller than the traditional brioche, so
Yeah.
the ratio between the meat and the bun is much better. And that's something we interview guests. We talk to them. Guests say, too much bread.
Yeah.
Fabulous.
Yeah, I totally get
So-
that.
I'm sorry.
You remind me of when Andy Warhol was eating that hamburger.
Oh, no, he was much more pristine, and he knew enough not to say a word. What we're talking about is that there is a very famous Andy Warhol video, and his performance piece was he does nothing but put a bag on the table, open it, take out a hamburger, eat it. Everything goes away. That's the video. That's the art piece. And you could say, what does that mean? The way, what did his tomato soup can mean? It means so much. If you've never seen it, you can look that up online. So some people are into burgers for the toppings. I don't want to be pressed into a camp. I like to jump around. So Danielle Boulud in New York does this foie gras burger.
Ooh.
Short rib on the outside.
Foie gras
had that
inside.
one.
It's unbelievable.
What's wrong with that?
It's unbelievable.
That's evil.
That's your doctor's number.
Okay, then the next...
Not recently.
Another time, I would like raw onion and mustard on my burger. I would go back to the English muffin thing. I want bacon, tomato, and
Just mustard.
I'm just jumping around. If someone said to me, "Oh, this is the most amazing tuna burger," I would be on that in a second. I did that curry burger that time when we did our
so good,
vegetarian
veggie.
burgers.
Yeah.
Oh, it was so much fun. It depends what you're into. We want to know. Tell us on Facebook.
Do you have a favorite burger at a favorite place? That's how I do it. Like I go to one burger place and
do their burger.
and
Over
I
and
know
over?
that burger's really good
Well,
there.
where do you go?
Oh, my restaurant's in Simsbury, so I'm in Simsbury all the time. We have a Plan B, and they do. It's called the Squealer.
The Squealer.
Yeah, half pork, half beef.
Okay.
Then it gets bacon
So
and
it's
cheese.
So that's like a meatloaf, really.
it's-
And but it feels exactly like a burger. Robin, you have one in New Haven, right?
My favorite burger is one right around the corner from here. It's Prime 16 on Temple Street. And a lot of times, this is what happens. My husband and I will go on a date night in New Haven, and we might go somewhere fancy at night. And then the next day, we always say, oh, we should go to brunch somewhere. But then we think about all these brunch places, and then we're like, forget it. Let's just go get a burger at Prime 16 because we can smell them as we're walking downtown.
Oh, I love that.
So I always get the honey truffle burger, and before you think that that's like a crazy truffle kind of thing happening, it's honey truffle potato chips on this burger, guys. So it's
Wow.
really, yeah.
What can't you put on a burger?
It's accessible.
You know,
See?
I am a nut about Torres
Yeah.
truffle potato chips. And if you gave me really pretty much any food or even like an article of clothing with those truffle potato chips on it, I would eat it. But the thought of a burger having
potato
those
chips on
crushed
it.
on
Yeah.
top. Can you,
Heaven.
Josh, can you make that?
The potato chips
Yeah,
on the burger.
I want it to be.
Well, wait, he
The
just
fake
said
We'll
he
run
was
it as
a
a special.
purist.
How about that?
The
We'll do
fake
it as a
burger.
special.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
Okay.
we're gonna design something together, and we're gonna see what happens. Don't let me
Oh,
down,
yeah.
people.
Will not.
Okay, this is at Graze in Westerly, right over the Stonington line. Okay, on Facebook, Jim Conway said in Salisbury, Connecticut, he goes to Maggie McFly's. I just like that name. And says they're using bacon from Nodine Smokehouse near you, Chris.
great bacon.
They do this garbage burger with like 50,000 things on it.
Garbage burger.
And,
Yeah,
you know,
got everything
that
on it.
kind of
I've
thing.
been to Maggie McFly's. Good burger.
There is an Amy Bentley who said in South Kent, Connecticut, Bowles Bridge.
Oh yeah, they on the bar they do a good burger. Been there too.
This gets to the idea of sometimes I just want the burger on a plate. I don't even want the bread on it. Give me that beefy flavor. So now we're going to get to at home. We do different blends for our burgers. If it's about sort of an ongoing thing, I'm trying to limit the amount of beef I have, say, across a month. So I'm very careful keeping track of that, I want grass-fed like you're doing at your farm, Josh.
100% grass-fed.
Yeah, that's the amazing thing. So we call that grass-fed, grass-finished. It means that at the end, they're not feeding crap corn to the cattle to fatten them, yet they still can say on the label, grass-fed, and they're tricking you. So what you always want to see is what he's saying, 100% or grass-finished, if you're into this sort of thing. Okay, so this is my trick at home for anything that is low in fat. One skinny pat of really high-fat butter. Yum. Just put it on that hot thing, whether it's tuna or burger meat
Melt
or whatever.
it in there.
And just swish it around on the top till it melts in, and it's fooling the palate. I believe that I can taste that unctuousness, and I can, because I'm using butter as a quote-unquote flavoring agent. So if you're making burgers at home, no matter what you're doing, especially if it's a low-fat content, this is the way to go.
You can add butter to your burger. The other thing we do, if you're trying to watch calories, stick with a leaner burger, 100% grass-fed burger, or at the restaurant, if you don't want a bun, we use a lettuce pouch.
I had that today. That was really
Yeah,
good.
I had that too.
Yeah, and I
today.
eat it like a burger.
Because I had 2 burgers. So
Now,
3 if you count that one.
But who's counting?
Nobody's counting.
so after eating all those burgers that we had for lunch, how does everyone
From
feel?
you.
How does
Right.
how does everyone feel?
I feel like having another one.
But do you feel like you've gone around with
I'm hungry.
Muhammad Ali? You know, sometimes you get a
Yeah.
funny
Oh,
feeling.
I know that. Yeah.
I know
Loaded.
that.
Yeah.
Does anyone feel that way?
No.
No.
That's so interesting because I don't.
I think that goes back to the beef.
Yeah, the quality of the
It
beef.
goes back to the quality of the beef, and it goes back to the way the animal's raised. It goes back to what they eat. Our animals, we started with 5 in 2008. We've got 120 now. They live really good lives, except they have one bad day at the end.
All you need to do is try once is get a farm burger, a grass-fed. I did it at home like 2 summers ago because I really wanted to see if there was that big a difference. We have a farm called Laurel Ridge in Litchfield. They do 100% grass-fed. So I went to their little farm stand. I bought a couple pounds of their ground beef, very simple. And then I went to my local grocery store and I just bought a package of burger.
75-25?
No, 80-20. Whatever the burger was in the supermarket, I
50-50.
grabbed it. And I cooked 2 burgers side by side before I had people over. Nothing on it, not even salt, nothing, just tasting. And the difference, it was like 2 totally different things. The grass-fed beef actually, even without salt, had this nuance of taste that the other burger just sort of coated my mouth.
So it tasted like something.
Yeah.
It tasted like beef.
Yes. Like beef, I guess, used to taste
If you
like.
have it by itself. But this is going to get us in the next half into what are your toppings and what does that do? And then you start to say, well, should I go with this heavy fat beef? If I'm really in it for the toppings, a lot of times I'm in it for the toppings.
Can't you have it all?
I know.
Come on.
I know. All right, listen, we've got wine to recommend to go with your burger if you're in the kind of beef and lamb category. Or even, as a matter of fact, if you're into some fish burgers or plant-based burgers, and more of your favorite burger recommendations to us on Facebook. More mouth-watering conversation, it is this time, and fun ahead on the Faith Middleton Food Schmooze. I hope you will make a charitable contribution to feed the hungry. We'll be right back.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the Faith Middleton Food Schmooze. This show originally aired in 2019.
Now, if you want something that's good and hot, just eat a hamburger, it'll hit the spot. You can see 'em on the griddle going flippity-flop. Makes you want to do the boogie to the hamburger hop. They're open up 24 hours a day, just waiting and hoping all the folks will say, put a burger on the griddle, do a flippity-flop, put an onion in the middle and a pickle on top.
I'm Faith Middleton. Sign up for a free podcast copy of the show at foodschmooze.org, and it will arrive arrive every single week in your inbox, and you can listen on your schedule. That's how it works. It's how it works with just about all radio and television now. Of course, we have a podcast. I'm with my food buddies, Chris Prosperi, chef and co-owner of Metro Beast Restaurant in Simsbury, Connecticut, in a beautiful new location just down the road from where they were. Wine broker Alex Province, wine broker Mark Raymond, Robin Doyen Aiken, senior producer, and we have a special guest. We're so grateful to him and very admiring of what he does. Josh Welch has a farm in Stonington, Connecticut, where he raises grass-fed cattle, 100% grass-fed. And he has a couple restaurants. One of them is called Graze, where the real burger scene is going on. And he has all kinds of burgers. And we're going to get into, we just had his burgers on the show. And what a ball we had. You can see this on our page, foodschmooze.org. Also, we have a video there that Alex Province has done. And it is fantastic. He makes these smash burgers in a paella pan with lots and lots of butter. Depends on what you want to do. I mean, oh no, it's so, I mean, I was pretty much enthralled. On Facebook, Amy Bentley, you wrote to us and said, in Danbury, there's a place called Black Angus, which makes an amazing burger. And I want to do a shout out to Craig on the Cross Sound Ferry that takes me every week from Orient, Long Island, where I have a place with my girlfriend, to our studios in New Haven. On Cross Sound Ferry, there's my buddy Craig, and one day he said to me, roll down the window as I'm pulling onto the ferry, and I roll it down, and I look at him, and he said, Faith, right? And I said, yeah. He said, you like burgers, right? And I said, oh, yes. He said, I'm telling you, it's not fancy. I said, I don't care. He said, the Rabbit Hole Tavern in Old Sabre, Connecticut. And here we've just heard also from Paul Kohler saying the exact same thing. And I went online, and, they have the foie gras thing, and they have like 40 kinds of burgers. Nice. So, okay, this is going to get us into, thank you, Craig. This is going to get us into toppings. I'm not shy about toppings. If it will make a just okay burger into something sensational, I'm into it. Yeah. If it masks a beautiful flavor like Chris was talking about in what you're doing, Josh, with the grass-fed, I don't want to erase that. No, so it's a judgment call.
Well, you have to still be able to eat it. If you put too many sauces and stuff, then the burger pops out.
2 to 3 things. Right now, if I'm making a burger at home, I like it simple, avocado bacon. Cooking at home burgers and eating burgers out, for me, 2 different things. Like when I'm eating out, I scour the burger menu for different things. But when I'm at home, I don't want to work too much on my toppings.
Do you have burger on menu?
Oh, yeah, of course.
What is the most popular burger style?
Right now, caramelized onions and gorgonzola cheese.
Oh, yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. That's my burger.
Yeah, right? How's that bad? That's right.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
So at Graze, what is the number one seller? If you took it off, people would,
Our customers want bacon burgers, and half of them want regular cheeseburgers.
With nothing?
Well, the cheeseburger comes with pickle if you want, lettuce, tomato.
We got to talk about
and Graze sauce.
Well, that's
We
what
put
I'm trying to
special sauce.
find.
Everyone has a special
What's
sauce.
your sauce?
Our sauce is mayonnaise, pickle juice, ketchup, yellow mustard, smoked paprika, garlic powder, and onion powder.
Pimenton.
Ooh, that is a special sauce.
But the pickle juice,
I like
that's
that.
genius.
I like that sauce.
I have a question about pickles. Is
good
everybody in
sauce.
here pickles?
Yeah.
I've got to have pickles.
No, I'm
no?
not pickles.
You're not a pickle?
I'm pickles at either McDonald's or Burger King, weirdly.
Yep.
But I'm
Totally.
generally not pickles.
Mount Olive
Oh, yeah.
makes a special hamburger dill chips, specially designed to go on
Aren't they a
hamburger.
little wavy? The cut
They're
is
cut
a little
like
wavy.
a wave,
wavy cut,
perfect
and they
size.
fit on the burger.
I know
you put
that
2,
brand.
3, 4 on there. They fit perfectly.
Isn't there something about a pickle and the acidity of a pickle complementing?
Yeah, the
Oh,
fat,
yeah.
right?
The
Cuts
fat in
the
the
Do
burger.
fat.
you
of the
find that
burger.
your
Yeah.
customers want a pickle? Let me ask you.
We don't put them on every burger, but they're available to everybody because it's
can-
one of those things where
You
some
can
people
bet
like
a-
them and others don't.
A gazillion dollars have been spent by food scientists for our fast food chains, and you know who you are, If there are pickles on those
There's
burgers,
pickles. There's a reason.
there's a reason. Okay, on our Facebook page, we have in Watertown, recommended by Joyce Downs, G's Burger, and she likes the onion rings there too. Amanda Haston says in Glastonbury, Birch Hill. In Newington, a lot of people said this. Deb, Thomas, Dana, Maria, Christine, Ann, they all said Gold Burgers.
Great spot.
In
Really? I don't know
Newington,
that
you
one.
know it, Mark?
Been there many times.
No, you like the burger there?
Very good burgers.
Okay, Five Guys and
Yeah, Five Guys does a good burger.
yeah. So Robin, a couple people liked your Prime 16. Karen and Michael. Sybil May said in Old Saybrook, there's another place she likes in addition to Rabbit Hole Tavern, and that's Little Pub.
Yeah.
What about Shake Shack?
Shake, that's what I was saying.
Yeah, we go.
Our
that's
favorite.
when we're on the road on Sunday,
Yeah.
there's one in Westport, there's one in New Haven, there's one up in West Hartford.
Phoenix
so-
Airport
Yeah,
Terminal 3
it's-
open up with a Shake Shack. I'm like
Shack.
traveling with my little burger
then-
and my seat.
and then burger and shake together.
Yeah, that's why it's,
And a
it's
hot
a kid
dog.
favorite at my house.
There's something about burger and shake
Yeah,
together.
burger
the
and a
extra
shake.
calories.
You know, Ina Garten loves, in fact, in her recent cookbook, she put in the recipe from Shake Shack's
Yeah.
chicken sandwich,
Yeah.
their
For
fried
fast
chicken
food.
sandwich, and she said it is like fall down on your knees, delicious. You know, there are a lot of people who would duke you out and say, oh, no.
Oh, no, not my
The
secret
chicken
recipe.
burger is much better than the beef burger. Hey, a whole bunch of people, Aaron, Jennifer, Charles, Joni, all said in Westbrook, Connecticut, the place to go to is the Haywire Burger Bar.
Ooh, don't know
Oh,
that
yeah.
one either. I'm
Right
learning
on.
all these. You know that one?
On Boston Post Road.
Yeah.
I got to
Very
put it
cool.
on my radar.
Yeah. French fries or no French fries?
The
Well, okay,
burger's
well,
enough.
I love.
mean, right?
I'm just crazy about French fries when they're well made.
Oh
But
my gosh.
I'm really trying not to have them. I've read way too much about French fries, and I just think, you know, this is not good. I'm not doing that anymore. But I
If you
adore.
fry them in olive oil, they're good for
You know,
you.
I'm
or,
a,
bake,
I'm a,
or duck fat. If you
yeah,
fry them
they're
in
even
duck
better
fat, they're
for you.
really
No,
good.
I grew up with real fish and chips from a truck on the
Yeah.
street in Scotland.
Oh my
so
God.
Vinegar on top.
that's my best. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Malted vinegar.
Malted vinegar. Oh, my God. Yeah. The best.
We cook our fries in beef tallow.
yeah.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Like McDonald's used to.
That's what
No,
McDonald's used to do.
When French fries
Yeah.
are French fries.
That's when
if
French
I'm
fries were
ever
French fries.
lucky enough to be
You're gonna break the. You're gonna
and
break
you make
the rule.
those, I would be eating those. I go a lot to a place in East Hampton on Long Island, and it's called Maidstone. It's just the most wonderful atmosphere. You sit in front of a fire, and they make a really good burger there. And they serve fries with Old Bay seasoning on them.
So good.
I think I'm not having these, and I'm with my best pal dog Bon Bon, and I end up feeding them to him so that I don't eat them because they're so addictive. Josh Welch, at your place,
Most people take the fries in beef tallow. So, notwithstanding your concerns about fries, the fries cooked in beef tallow really it creates a crispy outside and a nice, soft, kind of billowy inside.
Like a
and does
pillow.
does the beef tallow go into that nice, soft, pillowy
I
inside,
hope so.
or sometimes?
Oh, I'm sorry. Was that me?
Chris is conscious to speak.
Your doctor says
He's using his outside
Is my
voice.
doctor listening? I hope
he's
not.
calling in.
Okay. I'm trying. You know, you get to a certain point, and your doctor will say, let's cool it on.
you guys eat?
There is a theory that cooked correctly, certain things will not absorb the oil into the inside, but will get crispy on the outside. That's why I'm asking you that question, Josh.
No, it's a good question. I'm not a food scientist, but our experience has been that vegetable oil.
No one's dying.
No one's dying.
No one's
yet.
falling
No one-
off the stool. Okay.
But fries actually absorb vegetable oil, and it doesn't happen with the beef tallow, which
Really?
has a higher.
What do you
cooking point.
mean? Oh,
It's
hotter, right?
It's hotter.
Do you fry them hotter?
how long
Yes.
is it going to take me to get to
425?
Graze?
Oh, you do fry them at 425.
I'm driving.
Wow,
Isn't
that's
that
hot.
good?
Let's
Are you driving?
I'm
Come
driving.
On.
Let's
Come
go.
on, let's go, buddy. All right, let me get to this. So Kathleen White said that if you're in the Wallingford area, you have to try a burger, and that she loves the wings and the dogs too, at Knuckleheads, which is just a great name. We have Jessica saying that in Manchester, Connecticut, Maine Pub makes an awesome burger.
Great spot.
You know that?
Yeah.
And then Ellen writes to say, in Middletown, a couple people, Shelley also, Celtic Tavern. She said they're hand-formed. At home, how you handle your burger meat, some people say, matters. Can you do that in a restaurant, or if you're turning out lots and lots of burgers, Josh and Chris? Do you want a machine to turn them up for you, and does that matter?
It doesn't matter to me as much, but some restaurants, they're all about like hand forming them, right?
So we've messed around with a bunch of different dies, because when you go to grind your burger, when the burger then goes into the grinder, you can choose different die sizes. You can have a 4-inch die size. There's something called a...
What does that do?
It's the diameter of the patty. So do you want a 4-inch patty? Do you want a 6-inch patty? Do you want an 8-inch patty?
Okay.
Do you want it to be an inch high, 3/4 of an inch high, an inch and a half? You know, the formed patties can be
This is an art.
whatever you want.
Isn't this an art?
Yeah.
And it keeps looping back, because we're talking pretty much about beef burgers on the show. Everybody's got a different thing. Sometimes I want that full fat experience. Give me that 70%.
Yeah.
30% fat.
75-25.
It's like
the
a generation.
Yeah.
You grew up with 75-25
was the normal burger in the
me
70s.
Too. Oh,
You know,
was
you grew up in the
unbelievable.
70s or 80s. Then it went to 85.
And then 80-20.
Well, of
It might-
course, it tastes incredible. I mean, but then if you go over to Yale, you go to the medical school, where what they're showing
They
the
don't like
doctors
that.
is a film, what it looks like inside your veins, because they can do that now. And I'm so freaked out
Now we're
that they
80,
can strip
90-10.
so
But the
much
fat comes out, though, right?
pounds of fat that comes.
When you cook it, it all
No,
like...
no.
All that white
Well,
stuff.
good, because I was worried.
No,
That's why I
seriously.
was thinking.
This is in people's bodies. I hate to say this, but how do we have both flavor and
But aren't we meant...
not die?
Grass. That's the answer.
Yeah.
Grass. So all that white stuff in ground beef, that's fat.
Yeah. That's the
So
good
that's
stuff.
So we have ours has omega-3s. It's got less fat.
I'm so sorry to interrupt all of you. Let me take a quick phone call, because quite a long time ago, I was at a place called 1000 North in Jupiter, Florida. It's not so far from West Palm Beach, Florida. We certainly have in our broadcast region a lot of people who go to Florida. This is a Michael Jordan partner restaurant. It turns out I didn't know that at the time. It's right on the marina in Jupiter. And I just happened to have, as I often do when I'm having a Manhattan, I said, I think I'll have a burger. And I had the burger. I pretty much almost fell over. So I thought a couple days later, I'm going to go back and have that again. And I had it again, Manhattan and the burger. And then I had, was there for a week. And so I had another one.
Because why not?
So I needed to find out what in the world is going on with this. And so we're going to talk for a few minutes with the executive chef at 1000 North, Lee Morris. Hi, welcome to the Food Schmooze.
Thank you for having me. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. You hear me, I'm on the stool at the bar, and I taste this burger, and I'm kind of floored. What in the world is in that burger?
There's obviously many contributing factors that aid in the flavor, but if the piece of meat isn't right and great and fatty and juicy and flavorful, then the whole burger is essentially ruined.
What kind of cuts do you use in your burger?
So we use usually a 10-day aged prime chuck.
That's it? No.
That's it.
No, come on.
No, 80-20 is what
see.
it blends out to. And all that is ground for us by a company out of Chicago. You mentioned Michael Jordan a little bit ago. They provide all of his steaks for his restaurants in Chicago, and then also provide some of our steaks for our program. So it's 100% prime, slightly aged chuck meat.
Okay, and a little bit higher in fat. I've certainly had ground chuck.
But aged.
Yeah.
Just the straight chuck, straight shot, great tasting all-American burger. And then you can start adding your ingredients, cheese and remoulade, and that's toasted brioche bun and all the latter
Yeah.
things and make it even better.
Okay. Chef Lee Morris at 1000 North and Jupiter, thank you so much for
Of course.
being with us. And I got to get back there at some point.
Look forward to seeing you. Make sure to say hi next time you're in.
Hey, you know what? A lot of people wrote to us and said outside the region, because I remember from 2 years ago, this burger still. So someone said Wicked Fresh Craft Burgers in North Conway, New Hampshire. Claire said in Northampton, go to Local Burger because it's the best veggie burger. I love that. Cheryl wrote in to say in Narragansett, Rhode Island, Crazy Burger. Mm-hmm. So I want to ask you, Josh, what about aged, chuck, prime? Because you raise cattle, and we know that meat is rated all kinds of ways, and there's fat content that chefs get to choose from, and we do too when we're in the market. What is all this about? This is what I want the answer to, Josh. We're going to take a quick break. We love the local. As you can hear, please support your local food growers and food makers. For on-demand podcast delivery of this show, go to foodschmooze.org, and we're waiting to hear from you on Facebook at Faith Middleton Food Schmooze. Oh, we'll be right back with more burgers.
There just ain't nothing finer, nothing that's quite so new than jigging it with them to the sizzling rhythm like the burgers always do. You really should go, 'cause it swept the land. Everybody's going to the hamburger stand. When they put them on the griddle, do a flippity-flop. Everybody does the boogie to the hamburger hop.
You're listening to a rebroadcast of the Faith Middleton Food Schmooze. This show originally aired in 2019.
I like mine with lettuce and tomato, Heinz 57 and French fried potatoes, big kosher pickle and a cold draft beer. Well, good God Almighty, which way do I steer for my cheeseburger in paradise?
This is the Food Schmooze Party, offering the richness of life and coming to you in Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, and New York, including Westchester County, the east end of Long Island. That means the Hamptons, too. The senior producer is Robin Doyen Aiken. Talk with us on Facebook to give us your recommendation for the best burger place in our region, or, I don't know, even beyond. Search Faith Middleton. Josh Welch is with us from a restaurant called Graze, which is on the border between Westerly and Stonington, Connecticut, Westerly, Rhode Island, and Stonington. And they do burgers primary thing. He has a farm in Connecticut where he raises 100% grass-fed and finished cattle. And so his burgers are really something. We had them here on the show. And I'm asking you, Josh, about this whole thing that Chef in Florida was talking about, where it turns out it's just chuck, quote unquote, prime. What does that mean? Does that mean I should run out and buy exactly what he's buying, aged? What does that mean?
The grading system is complex. It was started years ago by the government. Prime Choice Select basically measures a series of things, including intermuscular fat. So the higher the intermuscular fat, the higher the score.
Is this taste versus health?
This is not health. This is about taste and texture. This is what the government was solving for.
Yeah, but what should we be thinking
I think
about?
it's a very good question. How much weight should we put on Prime Choice Select versus what am I actually eating?
Right.
Well, I'm eating an animal. What did that animal eat? Where did it come from?
How much should we care about what the animals that we eat are eating themselves? How much does that affect our health? There are some people, I've read about this for 100 years, who believe that what the beef are being fed is the very thing that affects us in terms of our cardiac issues. It's not beef, it's what they're being fed. So that would be what we call crap corn. This is how the grass kind of movement started, and some of it's phony and some of it's real.
It's about what cows eat, and cows eat grass. So we're giving them corn, they'll eat it, but it wasn't what they're supposed to be eating.
But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah,
so you see
100%.
why. I think you're saying that's not what they eat, but they'll eat it because I'll eat Cheetos because they're fantastic.
Yeah.
But you know what Cheetos that
Aliens
does to
may
you?
really like that, you know, just like, oh, she's been Cheeto fed.
She's one of
Cheeto
us.
finished.
But I think
Yeah.
it goes to what genetics is, right? Think about evolution and all. This is what the cow is supposed to be eating. That's what they eat.
They evolved to eat grass. So one of the other things you mentioned, Faith, was we talked about the grading system, the fat mix, 80-20, 70-30. Whenever you see that mix, you have to say, well, where did that come from? Where did the fat come from?
Yeah.
Very few animals show up as 80-20.
No.
Right.
It's like the perfect weight.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
Very few animals show up as 90-10. So what happens is the fat is added in the grinding process
Right.
by the slaughterhouse. And that fat could come from any number of animals,
No. You mean different animals?
Cow.
different cows.
It's almost like weight.
different
Because they're
cows.
solving for that
Oh, okay.
80-20 mix. That
I was scared. I thought you were going to tell me.
So
they
are
were-
your
I
cow?
don't know.
Is your burger different from cow to cow? It can be a little bit then,
Yeah,
right?
so every single cow tastes a little bit different.
Yes.
Our burger, we don't add fat or anything else from
grind
any
it.
other animal to our burger.
So your burgers are that cow.
right
From one animal.
from one animal. So it's called single source protein, I think. So you can trace
Wow.
the burger back to a single animal.
Is that what's the advantage of that for me as an eater? Is there an advantage?
Well, you're eating, you know exactly what you're eating.
It's cleaner
Why
for sure,
is that
right?
better than if I had a cow 6 places over whose fat was on his or her body added to my mixture? Why is one cow, that same cow, better is what I'm trying
You don't
to get
even
to.
know where you could be eating a hamburger that came from 4 different cows from 4 different farms
Or
from
40.
4 different ranch.
But is
and
that
you don't know
bad?
what, but you don't know what they're eating is the thing. Where if you go into him or Laurel, you know what they're eating. You can see the
I
cows and
see.
how happy they are, and that makes a difference.
When you eat 100% grass-fed burger from a local farm,
More hygienic.
you're not getting fat from a dozen animals. You're getting a burger that was ground in a place that processes 90 animals a week, not 12,500 animals a week.
And that
I
makes
see.
So there's a lot more authenticity and it's a lot more pure.
Yeah, but see, those words, you're really saying it's healthier. Is that what you're saying, or are you trying to be careful not to use that word?
I don't want to be pejorative. You know, burger is great. Meat is great. Great thing about burger is you can spend $2 and get a burger, or you can spend $200 and get a burger, and it's
Yeah.
it's wonderful that it's a great protein source available to 325 million people across the country.
And forgive me, I am pushing you like crazy.
But it is healthier.
Anybody, there
It's
you
definitely
go.
healthy.
Yeah.
I wanted to know what you thought about that.
So we can eat
Okay.
2 of them.
Chris,
right?
you
No,
think?
yeah, it's definitely healthier.
Okay. Yeah,
It's better
Everybody
for you.
Mark,
Yeah.
Alex.
Yeah.
I still like 75,
But are we
25 though.
are we gonna? Yeah. So, but honestly, I am personally going to, on occasion, have a high-fat burger, whether I add the butter or it's coming to me from that meat. If someone told me that I could have a totally grass-fed burger and they were going to throw in some extra fat for me, I'd be on the moon that I could have that a couple times a year. I just want to have that kind of mouth-watering burger. But basically, no, I really don't want to die next week. So if that's going to make that happen in terms of heart disease, no, I'm not doing it.
I think the other thing is that when you get the fresh, it doesn't have to have that much fat because you have more flavor in the meat.
Yeah, you guys
and
were saying
that's
that
the
earlier.
most. That's
Yeah,
one of the points
but
we should drive home.
Yes, I agree that is fantastic, but I'm not going to deny that fattiness flavor is so amazing. Chris,
I'm not-
10
I'm not
minutes
saying
ago,
that. Yeah,
you
no.
were
Saying, is it in the
razzing
French
me
fries?
and saying, oh, I want that fat.
It's okay in the
Oh,
French
I love-"
fries, you're right.
Come on.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Because
But-
the brain is tricky. 2 things are true at once. One half of our brain craves the fat. The other half of our brains say, careful, right?
Right.
Josh, do you think the way that you raise cattle like out in a pasture like leads to better tasting burgers?
There's a lot of research that shows, whether it's dairy or beef, that animals that live the way they're supposed to live naturally taste better on the plate.
Yeah.
Yeah, we know that
And are
it's-
better for you.
So in Goshen, Connecticut, that chocolate maker, it has the cows. Thorncrest is the chocolate maker. Unbelievable. Using that milk for the chocolates, when they took the fluorescent lights out
Changed
of the
taste
room,
change the taste of the milk.
changed the taste of the milk.
Less stress.
Animals are feeling
Just like us.
They're feeling creatures.
No, it's true, just like us.
Hey, we cannot end the show without talking about the wine that we have. This is one of those bargains of the century, and it's called Clos de Lumière. It's a Côte du Rhône Red 2017. This is a box wine from France that is so delicious. How many bottles, Alex Province?
4.
4 bottles
in that
in
little
this
box.
tiny box. You think, wait a minute, how is that possible? Why is that? Because there's the
bottle-
air is taken out,
Yeah,
and
the
it's
air's
in
taken
a.
out.
And how much does this come out to a bottle if you buy a box?
$8.50.
It's really delicious. I'm just taking a sip. How would we describe this?
It's like juicy. So south of France is that rolling hillsides, river rocks that hold the heat, clay under for the dirt. They get like 300 and something days of sunlight. So that translates to ripe, full-bodied, and then you add that little touch of spice. So they say it's like blackberries and berries with a little bit of white pepper on top. That's kind of the traditional Southern French. For me, I did it with burgers because it's so juicy, right?
It's a little sassy. That's what this
Yeah,
is.
there's a little spice to it. Yeah, but there's a little
Peppery.
Really, yeah, Josh, when you have that little zip of pepper in the background, not up front or anything, it's not like, oh my God, there's pepper on my tongue. We're talking about subtle things. When that's in your mouth, all mixed together, all these flavors we're talking about, juicy, peppery in the background, it's in the background, but also these are the qualities that make a wine go or don't go with food. So this is great with burgers.
absolutely
If you've
perfect.
got,
delicious.
normally if you're doing a turkey burger or a fish burger or whatever, there's always a spice in your burger. And so we're matching spice for spice, and that's what makes wine go with food.
And the fruit's like ketchup, right? So the fruit has that rich ripeness that's kind of like ketchup on a burger, and then the spice is like the pepper on the meat.
So
For burgers.
that's what he's
And it's got to be affordable too, right?
Go to foodschmooze.org to see. We've got a picture of the wine. We've got a description of the wine, and we tell you what to say on the phone. You might as well find out if they've got it in stock before you get there. And if they don't, tell them to order it, and they'll have it within 24, maybe 48 hours. And this is, what did we say this was about?
$34.35 for the box, which is the four bottle equivalent.
So it's $8.50. Should come out to $8.50
And it lasts
a bottle.
forever. Keep in your
Because
refrigerator.
it's in the box, in that thing, that bladder inside. You can keep this in your refrigerator for months and months and months and months.
Not
And
because of preservatives,
No.
but just because there's no air.
No. And that, of course, is a blessing and a curse. Okay. So
It won't last that long. It won't last months.
It won't be there that long.
that's what I mean
Let's
about
be honest.
that's the. So I've got so many more places to talk about here. Let me mention in the Trumbull Mall, Harriet says Wahlburgers, in Colchester Vintage, in West Hartford Max's. These are all for burgers. In Pomfret, Vanilla Bean Cafe. In Stanford,
good ones.
Westchester Burger Company. Louis Lunch in New Haven. In Windsor Locks, the Blackboard Cafe. In Meriden, they do a steamed cheeseburger at Kay LeMay's with a great sharp cheddar. In Mystic, the Engine Room.
Oh, yeah, we know that.
Oh, yeah.
place.
With the Bloody Mary.
In Middletown, Taino's. In Madison, Brother Mike's. And Donahue's. In Willimantic, the Harp. In New Haven, Cast Iron Chef. In Stamford, Lucky's Diner and Bear Burger. In Hartford, Ted's Montana Grill. In Wallingford, Tap and Vine. In Middletown, Osa. In Durham, Artie's. In Middlebury, Pies and Pints.
There's so many.
In Simsbury, Abigail's.
Oh, yeah, they do good burger.
In Derby, Dewdrop Inn. Oh, my God, I used to go there when I was a kid. And in Watertown, Uncommon Grill. Oh, so many more. Go to our website, foodschmooze.org.
Well, I know where I'm going very soon.
Where?
I'm going to Grace.
Are you?
I'm
going
dying
to
to
get
go
the
there.
fries.
After we had those burgers
I'm
today.
lard
I'm for the
fries.
beef
I'm
tallow
going down
fries.
there.
You call them lard fries?
We do not
All
call
right.
them Lord.
Thank you, everybody. Josh,
Thank you. It's so great to be here.
Oh, my God. Thanks to the crew at Graze also in Westerly, Stonington for sending these burgers over. Honestly, they were great. And never eat more than you can lift, unless it's a burger. In New Haven, I'm Faith Middleton.
everybody eats when they come to mind.